Today we're doing keywords and keyword research. If you have questions, save them till the end and we'll make sure we answer them. And if we don't run out of time, then we'll make sure to answer them on Tuesday. This is foundational SEO. You're going to pick a keyword string for a new blog post page. You're going to pick a keyword string for an existing page on your website. Those are the outcomes, not maybe right after this class, but by the end of next week, that we will have accomplished. Our full overview is that we're going to talk about keywords, keyword strategy, keyword research, Google Trends and other tools, and the Google Keyword Planner. Now, Google Trends and the Google Keyword Planner are the things we actually use to test the keywords we pick. We're going to talk a little bit search speak. Of course, you're learning a whole new language. There's going to be a lot of new terms. But over time, you're going to get it. Search volume is something you're going to hear about. Search volume is defined as the number of searches for an expected keyword. And we do this to analyze what keywords we're going to pick. You're going to see something called competition. This is in relation to, is it a really sought after keyword that people are always typing in Google, or less people are typing it into Google? Monthly average searches. They show the number of average searches per month. Cost per click is basically inside Google Ads. You're going to see something called CPC, and that's how much you'll pay for a click. Now, if you're wondering why I'm telling you this now, it's because we're going to be going into the keyword planner, which is inside Google Ads. And if you don't have an account, don't worry. We'll set you up an account and you will not have to advertise, which they try to get you to do right away. Okay. And then the last one, click-through rate. Click-through rate is the number of impressions divided by the number of clicks. And the reason that we're going to be talking about this is because this makes a huge difference where you show up on a search engine results. We're going to dive into the anatomy of a keyword. As weird as that sounds, it's a little bit of science. We're going to talk about something called seed keywords and head terms, and short tail and long tail and modifiers and search intent. And we started learning about search intent last week. Keywords, there's thousands of them and millions of searches done. There's actually, and the number rises every couple of years. 17%, I think, or 7% of all searches are completely new searches. We're going to teach you our strategy and approach for picking keywords. And it's simple, it's modern, and it moves us quickly. We're going to demonstrate that process over. You have to know about keywords and what are these things? Seed keywords, head keywords. This is the smallest part of a keyword for SEOs. This is one word or two words put together. These words have high volume, and don't worry, I'll give you good examples. They're high competition. They're 1 to 2 words. They have a lower conversion rate in general. When you think about water, that is a seed keyword. Water bottles are a seed keyword. You can call seed keywords. Then we're going to talk about something called long tail and short tail keywords. Just know that seed keywords are the fundamental component of a string of words that we use in SEO. Water, shoe, dog, digital marketing. Then we get into long tail keywords. They're longer words. They're 3+ words usually. But the defining characteristics of them are they have low search volume, which we're going to learn how to do and see, and they have low competition. Here is a beautiful graph. And in this graph, search volume, more people search the word dog versus dog hike, right? The shorter the word, the more search volume. I always use the word picture. If you type in the word picture into Google, so many searches come up. Then you have long tail. And long tail has the least amount of competition, but it does have a higher conversion rate. And a conversion rate would be what somebody's doing on your website, an action they're taking, right? Are they signing up for an email? Are they buying something? Are they filling out a form? Why we need to know about the fundamental parts of the keywords? Because we have search intent, which we already learned about 2 weeks ago, right? We're going to go over it. And we have modifiers. It's the reason we search, right? You know that we put our intent into categories. Navigation, remember, I already know the business. I type in their name. When you go to Google or Facebook, you're doing a navigational search. Informational searches are like how to, you're just learning about products. 80% of searches are those. And then you have commercial investigation and transactional. If I have hiking as my keyword, I'm going to have modifiers: where to find, how to, what are. Modifiers are things that add on to your keyword. And you can have like transactional, the word buy, deal, discount are all part of a keyword. Buy hiking shoes, right? The buy is the modifier, that's transactional. Hiking shoes can be the seed term or a short tail or a head term. All those are intertwinable. And then we can actually group them. Now, there is some interchangeability, and this does take some getting used to. Most informational searches happen, and that's where blog posts come up a lot of the time, right? You're doing guides and tutorial and providing resources and tips and FAQs, navigational brand names. You're typing into Facebook to get there. You just already know where you want to go. And then there's commercial, which that's the step before. Ahrefs were the people that added the commercials. They added this fourth element. I think the two elements can be put together, because sometimes you are going to type in best something or other and you'll actually probably buy it. Just keep in mind that keywords and search intent are very intertwined, and that's why we learn about the SERPs, because we want to know people's intent. And we can see that from looking at the search engine results pages, because they're filled with much great information. Google calls these three types of search intent: informational, transactional, and informational and navigational. These three types of search intent are what Google calls moments, and they're: I want to know, how to, I want to go, where is, I want to do, which could be I'm going to buy something, right? Or I want to buy. That's how Google separates them out. We're always going to look at keywords and try to figure out what is the intent. Now we're going to talk about keywords and strategy. What is keyword research? That's the foundation of SEO. It's the way we go through identifying what one of our web pages focuses on. We try to find queries or keywords that people are actually typing into Google. One of the goals is to generate the right traffic using the right content. We use keywords and we create content with them. Sometimes you can write the content and then find a keyword. Sometimes you can find a keyword and then go write some content. What is a keyword research strategy? Each page we focus on one or two themes. Keywords, we're talking about a specific thing on our page. And we do this to give Google a signal about what our page is about. We follow other SEOs and what they've done over years and years doing testing. How we organize our keywords is a process that we have to develop over time. In my personal opinion, it takes generally about 2 hours to do keyword research for one page. If you're doing a whole site, it's going to take longer. It's also said you should reevaluate your keyword strategy. SEO does take a long time to work. You're going to be working with a company long term. That's the goal, especially as SEO changes rapidly. An SEO wants to be employed by a company for as long as possible. But in doing that, you have to be successful. And then maybe one day they won't need you, and that's okay. Our strategy for keyword research is, we don't have one. No, I'm just joking. We identify the page we want to find a keyword. We do some searches. We use the SERPs to our advantage. We're looking for a keywords. The first word we pick might not be the word we end up with. We use other tools like the Google Keyword Planner and Google Trends to dig deeper. Why is this important to actually have a strategy around an idea we're going to talk about that's specific? Because the higher you get up in Google, the more you get clicked on. And the first 3 spots get almost all the clicks. The first spot gets 35% of all traffic that ends up on Google. If you can actually get to the first 3 spots for a business, you can change that whole business. But it is very challenging. There is a lot of competition, a lot of knowledge about SEO. You have to be strategic in what you do, and you have to be able to say why you're picking that keyword to a business owner. And a lot of the time, to be honest, business owners don't want to know. But if you look at this graph, we look at the click-through rate here. How often do they see a result, and then how often does one click on the results? There's 10 results, not including all that extra stuff on there now. 10 results on a page. And then remember this, we saw short tail, long tail, middle tail, and conversion rates. Long tail over time converts better. And there's a great example, WordPress themes. That's short tail, right? That's a seed keyword. Middle or slightly long tail, right? WordPress themes for a blog, and then long tail, free responsive WordPress themes for a blog. Just more specific and less searches, but hopefully more conversions. We focus on long tail keywords because they're more specific. Less people are searching for these. We have a fighting chance, right? As small business owners, generally, we can't beat the Walmarts of the world. We can't beat the Amazons. We have to look at how we do things a little differently. If you see in the bottom last little bit of text, we're going to be looking for search volume that's in between 100 and 1,000. We'll figure that out by going into the Google Keyword Planner. Of course, more on this later. I have a template for you. When doing keyword research, what do you need to know? You do need to know who your customers are. Why? Because then you can speak to them. You also need to know what they're looking for. You also need to speak in their language, right? And what type of content fits their intent? Where do they find you? Are you blogging? Is that how somebody finds you? And then do they slowly over time become a client, or are they just searching to buy something? Our keyword strategy is to basically brainstorm and then go to the search engine results pages and identify if we could rank, possibly, and is it a keyword we're interested in, right? Who's the competition? We really want to see what's going on in the SERP before we make a final choice on our keywords. We also use other tools like the Google Keyword Planner and Google Trends, and we record what we do. When you do a whole website and that's what you're focused on, it can take maybe a day, right? A 10-page website. If you're doing a page at a time, it's 2 hours ago. We identify broad topics. We refine those topics. We try to isolate the best keyword string to pick. We note why, and we use spreadsheets and we track our keywords. Over time, as you get better at SEO, your website's going to change and your strategy is going to look different from year 1 to year 6. Okay, how do you find long tail keywords? SERPs tell us a lot. They're important. We're going to use the autocomplete. We're going back to the search engine results pages. We're going to look at something called Answer the Public because it's super fun. And there's something coming out soon called YouTube Insights where we're going to get keywords. That was just mentioned yesterday. We're looking forward to getting that because we'll actually see what people are searching to learn. And your secret weapon, your Google Search Console. This is where we actually end up picking a lot of keywords. In the chat, there's going to be a copy of this. When you open it, it'll come up on the page and it'll look like this. And this is just your keyword research. Now, remember, these are yours. You change them to see how they fit you. And this is just a starting point if you want one. You might already have a process. We're going to go to your secret weapon and Google Trends. We're going to look at all these things to help us decide on a keyword. And I'm actually going to go through a bit of the process of doing keyword research because I want us all to make sure we're going to be practicing this over time. And if you don't know what Google Trends is, it's another free product from Google where you can just go and compare words over time and see searches. A good example would be Google changed its name that used to be AdWords, right? And if you go and look at, do I want to pick the keyword AdWords or Google Ads? You can see the graph over time because less people are going to be searching for AdWords and more people are going to start searching for Google Ads because that's the current name. So a trend over time, if you're picking pantyhose or leotards, you want to see which one's more competitive. What are people searching more? And then the keyword planner. We use the keyword planner a lot. Other people use a lot of other tools, SEMrush, Ahrefs, WordStream. There's lots of places to spend money and look for keywords. We stick mainly with our true source, Google. Just know that your keyword strategy is going to be your own over time. Let's dive in. Okay. In the chat, feel free to click on that template. I got mine open. You'll see some directions. Of course, do you have to follow them? Sure, maybe not. You have this keyword research Google sheet to play around with. We sometimes will jot down the wish list of our clients. What's the competition using? What are some modifiers? Using the seed term and the modifier. You could put in where in the funnel you want to do this. They call it TOFO, MOFO, and BOFO. Top of funnel, middle of funnel, bottom of funnel. We know that top of funnel is informational. Middle of funnel is probably a bit of navigational. Can be slightly informational. And then it moves into transactional. And that's both bottom of the funnel. Fun. I just have extra tabs for you to copy and paste information if you want, extra resources. I would change this per how you want to use it. You can see here I was doing a bit of keyword research. I have a blog post I want to write. It is about the search engine results pages. We're going to go through a little bit of this process. The search engine results pages was the keyword I wanted to look up information. Start with an idea, write it down. That's how I started. I go over to Google. But I do a navigational search. And then I'm starting my keyword research. I've written down, and I found this term. This is for, let's write a blog post. Now, what are my results? What is going on here? I got ads. We know that people are bidding on this keyword, and we know that there is a rich snippet, a featured snippet, and word streams there. They're going to be hard to compete with. I'm a small guy in my industry, right? Word stream's a big player. MailChimp, Wikipedia. Wiki, what is this telling us? This is telling us that it's an informational search, right? And that's what people are looking for when they search this keyword. Then I'm going to go parts of a search engine results. Yes, I like that one too. I'm going to grab that keyword. I'm going to add it here. And then I'm going to go back over and just look at, is there anything else that makes sense? As I'm looking for a keyword, I can see what people are searching as well. So maybe I want to add different ideas to a sheet, like questions I'll answer. I think in the template there is a content ideas. That's where I would put the questions. Sometimes your questions can become a keyword. I hit the space bar here and words come up, and then I hit here, and oftentimes other words will come up. This is where you'll get best showing up. And as I keep going, I'm not seeing anything. What am I going to do? And if I go back to my original search, what am I seeing here? I can go down to the bottom of the page. Okay, examples, parts of your search engine results page, a result from called. Then I want to maybe go here. And what else is going on? Other keywords. As I dig into things and I search around and I look at who is showing up, I develop a list of keywords. A great place to go is sometimes Wiki. Can I find any more keywords? You can go down a rabbit hole. When I started doing my keyword research, I started here and I got to this. I spend about 2 hours, as I said, per page. Can you get faster? Yeah, sometimes you'll find your keyword in 5 minutes. And then sometimes you definitely won't. This is a long tail keyword. It's going to be for a blog post because that's top of funnel. Why are keywords important in research? How do the tips in conducting online research help you find the correct query result? That's interesting. Then, I'm going to go get that one. And I'm going to just create a list. Now I'm going to have a bunch of keywords. It looks like I have 4 keywords here. Okay. And we're going to take these words and we're going to go look in the Google Keyword Planner, and we're going to go look in Google Trends to see if there's a comparison. Sometimes I might leave out Google Trends. I kind of like this keyword. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and have the keyword. Now I've opened an incognito window and I'm going over to Google and I'm typing in Google Ads. And I am opening this one. When I click on this, it's going to take me to this page. You're going to click on the start now and it's going to get you to sign in. And then if I've signed in, I might already have an account, but it'll look like this if I've never used the account, right? Now, the thing about this is what Google's trying to do to you here is they're trying to get you to set up a Google Ads campaign or a YouTube campaign. And so if you go through all these steps, Google's just going to try to rob you right away. We're going to do this. Always look for the hyperlink blue text. Switch to expert mode. Now you're here, you haven't bought anything, and you are going to try to remember hyperlink blue text. You are trying to not hit here any of these beautiful things that are taking you to create a campaign. You're going to create an account without a campaign. Now, if you already have a Google Ads campaign or have tried Google Ads, you just sign in, then explore my accounts. Congratulations, all done, yay! Why you do this is because we're going to use a free tool inside Google Ads called the Google Keyword Planner. And what we're going to do is we're going to go over to Tools and Settings, that horizontal menu, right? Third from the bell. Tools and Settings, little wrench icon. And then you're going to go over, all the way over to Planning. And you're going to go to the Keyword Planner. Bam. They'll give you some information about new stuff. Now you're here, and we generally click on this one, Discover New Keywords. Now, you can take a web page, start by going with a website. We're going to take our keyword. That's the first thing we're going to do. We're going to take that beautiful keyword that is like super long. And I want to start with that, just keywords. And I want to get results. And look, 80 characters. Google doesn't let us do more than 80 characters. Now I want to think about, okay, would I pick this as a keyword if I can't do research on it? Maybe not. But am I going to use deductive reasoning? I know people are searching on Google, right? I know because it's coming up in the autocomplete. I know that I can beat Quora because Quora is like a forums. You can beat forums, right? Google doesn't like things like Yelp. Yelp usually gets pushed down because they're listicle sites. Because Google knows that, like, maybe I'll get my answer here, but it means that I could answer these questions. Maybe it is a keyword I want to use. And then if I look here, Google brought me, what is this? 2,380,000 results. Is that a small number? I have it on the back burner. I might want to use it. I can't test it in my Google Ads. And so I'm going to change this. What am I really talking about with my blog post, search and SERPs? And it's how do the tips? It's tips conducting online research to help you find the correct query. Let's see if that works. Okay, now I can do search. Ha! 0 to 10 monthly. People are searching. You can move things over like that. Handy dandy. I'm going to copy that. I'm going to go check it out on search engine results page. Okay, so 3,270,000. That is more than 2,380,000, but it's shorter tail, right? It's shorter. It's still very long tail. Look how long that is, the long tail. But people are searching this. We know people are searching. Remember, I'm looking for monthly average searches between 100 and 1,000, and I'm not seeing any competition stuff. You can play around with the filters here. I just want to see competition that's low. Okay, I'm not getting what I want. I might go to my Google Sheets and put like that 10 monthly searches, right? 10. Or I might take it over to the keyword planner side and I might be like, okay, there's the query, there's the volume. Is it worth it? As I said, you build this out as your own. What you're trying to do is figure out high volume as high as you can get, but knowing that the business might not have the competitive edge, and what is the competition. You go down a rabbit hole and you do a lot of searches. Say I had a existing website or a blog page that I was going to update. Well, I'd come in here and I'd start with the website and I'd actually put in only use this page, right? That's often how I would do my keyword research with something that's already published. We go back and forth between the SERPs, Google Search Console, and the website. You can even put competitors' websites in here to find a list of keywords. And basically, you keep developing your list. I would go to the business owner afterwards, after all my research, and I would try to tell them why I picked this. Okay, we did this search and this search. We used information that Google was already saying you're ranking for from using Google Search Console, or we went and did some research using Google's Keyword Planner tool, which helps us see search volume and competition. If I want to filter this out now, I can go filter, competition, low. And now I got a ton of keywords for what I just wrote. And I'm seeing when Google actually gives me the numbers here, that's telling me like $12. People are paying $12 a click for a seed keyword SERP ranking. It is between 10 and 100, but not necessarily what I want.
Ask a question here?
Yeah, of course.
Like when I did my gelato search quickly, and remember I showed you that the top of page bid was $300 per click.
Yes.
That legitimately means that someone, even though there's no ads running right now, someone was actually paying $300 for the keyword gelato Vancouver.
Somebody might not be paying, but they might be bidding. Because in Google Ads, when you bid, it doesn't mean that's what you're going to pay. You're going to pay a penny above or below.
Yes.
Depending on where you rank.
Well, above the next rank, the next highest bidding. So, you're just slightly above them.
But if nobody is running ads on that keyword, like if you go to Google right now and you type in gelato Vancouver, there's no ads. That's where I'm having the disconnect between if no one's running ads, but Google's saying it's at the top of page $300 per click.
Let's just clarify. That's the search you did and you're doing. Maybe Google is not showing you. Maybe it is always, this is a big challenge because business owners often look for themselves on Google or look for these things and they don't see results. Somebody has bid on that. I don't know if they're not, I don't know why they're not showing up. Maybe Google's using that as a worldwide term, like in the Google Keyword Planner. If you want to look here, we started with keyword, we get results, and over to the right of the search bar, you're seeing location targeting. Bigger location, you're going to see higher search volume.
Because we can't go into a specific area. That's the thing. Like I have a local business. I only care about Vancouver. I don't care
Yeah,
about.
so then you would do a search for, you would maybe condense it down, because maybe people who search in Vancouver search differently than people in, say, Burnaby, or different in people than, say, PEI or Toronto or in Kentucky. You might want to, pardon me, Phelan?
Oh, I was just looking at that myself with the gelato. And what happened is that saying that it has a range from $187 to $300.
Yes,
Well,
exactly.
Meaning,
hold on. Can you share your screen? Let's just get here, because this is part of keyword research. This is, you spend a lot of time in the keyword planner and lots of questions come up. This is a great
yes.
question.
Keyword planner, not BFF right now. But I don't want to be their BFF. I hate it.
See, I think it can be quite interesting, but look at that. Okay, that's what Amanda's talking about, right? The top of page bid is 299. There's what, an average of 1K to 10,000 searches.
yeah.
And she is looking just in Canada, and the competition is.
I am.
Oh, yes, you are. Sorry. And Phelan, what are you saying?
I'm saying that this is a range. They're saying at the most that someone has paid for these keywords was $300 at one point.
Crazy. Okay, so it's not right now. It's like a historical thing at one
Well,
Yeah.
is it though? Because the date range is between April 21st and March 22nd. This is the thing, is sometimes you have to use some deductive reasoning. This might be the all-time, like it might not. I would change maybe that Canada to Vancouver, and let's see what changes. Seasonally, and is it just the word gelato?
Because we only have shops in Vancouver and Burnaby. I really want to know what's the price, so that if it's something that we use, then I add it in.
It won't give you the bid. But you have
that means that you're probably in the clear. I don't think you're going to be charged $300 or anything like that.
Because we've looked and hyper focused on Vancouver itself.
Yeah, that's where you're.
Yeah.
People are gelato's local. So let's talk about that keyword for a second. Gelato, Vancouver. Gelato would be a seed term, or a head word, or a head term. The beginning of a short tail keyword. And then we have Vancouver, and Vancouver is a modifier, but it's a geo modifier. Something synonymous of, say, Vancouver, where you are, is near. You have a short tail keyword that's location, geolocation targeting, and it's only 2 words for SEO purposes. That would not, I would go then to the search engine results pages, and I would look at who's up there. Is it Walmart? Is it like Whole Foods?
It's a lot of our competitors, like La Casa Gelato. La Casa, I think, is number 1 in the SERPs for Gelato Vancouver. I believe that Bella is only a few down, because I've tried so hard to write the content as per, because I created obviously my grid, my pages, and everything like that. I've tried my best to get us on the first page as quickly as possible. The good thing is with the brand, obviously, see, now I come first because I added gelato and coffee in our name. Yay! Because we weren't showing up before, because nobody knows how to spell gelateria. And if you're typing gelato, we're not posting up. But ever since I've changed it to -gelato and coffee, we're now showing up first. So that makes me very happy.
That is something that happens now. No, if your competition is savvy with SEO, there are things they can do to pull you down. Because
I was just going to ask about that, Pip, because you did mention that Google doesn't allow you to put anything in that area that's not just your business name, right?
Yeah, those are the rules. Do people follow them all the time? No. And do we have clients that don't follow them? Yes. We tell clients that if you want to do that, that our advice is that's gray.
Can you tell me why? Because I didn't know that.
Because that's not your business name. If I actually buy a business name with my keyword in it, I am probably better off. Google does say that no, but if I have my if my business name is Gelato Vancouver, just saying, like you probably show up in the first spots forever. But if I go Bella Gelato, okay, gelato and coffee, great. But when I go to your website,
Because the problem is most people don't know how to spell gelateria. Everybody calls us Bella Gelato.
then that's just branding, right? It's an interesting conundrum. So
And I can't change the name, obviously, just because he's already trademarked the name. I'm dealing with a very particular owner who does not understand marketing at all.
oh, you know what? Getting somebody to change their business name, it's their baby, man. It's
But maybe Pip, just Amanda, because I think you explained that to us before, just so she understands. I did not know that until you explained it to us. It's like someone can report you. That's the risk.
here.
So if no one reports you, it's okay.
It is a risk, and are you willing? We have owners that are willing to take the risk, but you're one of our clients. Hold on.
Basically, what you're saying is because I've added gelato and coffee into the name, that's not allowed. What I could do then is maybe I could call it Bella Gelateria Gelato.
No,
they wouldn't know.
Yeah, no, maybe you could. You can do whatever you want. Look at these guys. This is bad. This is our client. He won't change this. We can't get him to change it. Okay, what happens if I am a competitor and I know SEO, or I've been hired to support a company? Might just scroll down to the end of the page here. And I'm going to click on that little feedback.
And
then I'm going to change your business name to the real name. And then what'll happen is it'll get reviewed and somebody at Google will compare, and you'll either drop down. It negatively affects you, and you can drop down in the search engine results pages. It is in your best interest to make sure you are telling the business owner that, hey, you can do this. Now, is somebody going to do it? Only really an SEO might flag it like that, which is a new, in the last 2 years, probably a new and more popular thing, because technically you are only allowed your business name in the title of your business. It's considered keyword stuffing.
Okay.
Putting your location in there is considered geo keyword stuffing. Yeah. Real estate agents do it all the time.
What would you suggest then? Because when I didn't put the gelato and coffee in there, we wouldn't show up, because obviously all of our competitors, Uno Gelato, La Casa Gelato, every one of our competitors has gelato in the name except for us. We have gelateria.
Yeah.
And again, nobody types in gelateria. They don't even know how to spell it, let alone what it is.
Yeah, of course. And is Google confused? Google knows it's a business name. Okay, what I can tell you is I can give you my best recommendation, which is you have to make that decision for yourself. Because I as a business owner, would I put up too much of if a business owner wanted to keep the name or gelato in there, I would give them the recommendation saying, hey, this is technically against Google guidelines, but you do literally skyrocket back up to the first couple spots.
Like we were probably on the 10th in this list until I made the gelato and coffee change, and now I'm first.
I don't know, leave it there or take it off if you are comfortable with a little bit of, you don't see anything wrong. Do business owners read the fine print of Google? I'm not sure. What'll happen is if somebody changes the name, you'll get a recommendation inside Google that says, take suggestion.
Yeah, if you're in your GMB, you mean in the Google My Business, it'll say you've got some suggestions that you need to check. And
sometimes they'll give you more service categories. That's one of the suggestions. Or they'll say a different phone number, a different address, or it is really, this is interesting. I like that.
Hey, Pip, I have a question on that one too. What can she do? Like, how does actually Google see it, do they compare it with your name, your business name? Because they don't know your actual name, right? If in their website they say Bella Gelateria and then there's like a dash gelato and coffee under there, will Google review that and say, oh yeah, that's part of their name? Or
they match the website.
the URL or like
the other thing is, if you pay attention to the searches, like when who is it? Let's do, okay, let's see. What shows up? This shows up oftentimes, the two bars, right? When you do searches, like it'll actually come up Paige Schulte, real estate agent, right, Phelan?
Yes.
Yeah, it's Google takes this information as more valuable than what you're saying, but they will, like if I went to the website, I would.
Then your website, they take your Google My Business profile as the source of truth because you verified with a card, right? Like you've actually like requested to be verified.
Yeah, I might be like, okay, well, their real name is Neighborhood Expert Real Estate, and then I might change their business name, right, to that. You are taking a chance doing that. Your job is to tell the business owners what the best recommendation is according to the rules. Now, does that mean they'll make their own choice in the end? Yes. And can you stop them? No. And it is their own business choice. I haven't really seen it really negatively affect anybody, but I do know that as an SEO, that
is a little naughty.
I am true to my clients. We don't work with a second business in the same area that's doing the same profession. We won't do that. And I give the best recommendation. Like real estate agents is our hard one. We have clients like, and their business name, their name is their business. They don't get to put realtor or real estate agent, and that hoops them. Most of them put realtor in there or real estate agent. But it does have to be a personal choice, and you do have to educate the business owners just to get them up high. You can tell the business owner, hey, you should probably buy the business name, Vancouver Gelato. That's the thing about SEO, right? You gotta find the black hat SEO. Have we talked about this much? There's white hat, gray hat, black hat. Black hat is super bad. And Phelan can give you an example of a black hat SEO technique that happened last year?
No, it was in 2020. That's
Okay.
when it happened. Yeah, a gray hat is what I would describe as, it's not technically in the rule book, but you're not, they might rule that it is, but like Google does have their own terms of service. And one of the terms of service is to not, what is it called? Lead hogging, I think it's what it's called. And what was happening was one gentleman we were following on YouTube, he was setting up Google My Business accounts in a city like Santa Barbara iPhone repair. He'd buy that domain, he'd spin up like a Squarespace website, and then he would collect leads. He would then promptly sell those leads on to people who would actually do the work.
Oh,
he was just
he'd rank number one.
Yes, that was it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had a Facebook group where he would collect reviews through the Facebook group by just helping out and then giving the link. They would then write him a review, and so he was really well reviewed fake business, basically, which is very much
Google My Business. Shut it down.
Yeah, they wound up having so many people trying to verify that they, based on what this guy had done, because it only took a couple thousand, right, to really throw the whole thing off, throw all the reviews off, and they had to shut everything down. Could you turn down your volume a bit, please?
Oh, sorry.
I can hear myself very. Thank you.
There. Sorry. There's, as an SEO professional, I can only give you what people do and tell you that if you do it and you get flagged, that you go down. But can you go up? Do you get your account suspended? No, haven't seen that yet. Everybody's trying to do their very best online. Technically, if we really want to get technical, trying to do link building and sending out like, hey, I wrote this great article, can you link to it? That's technically gray hat SEO, because Google says you're not allowed to do anything on purpose, right? But black hat SEO sometimes happens, and this is why you have to be really particular when companies hire SEO companies. The first company I worked for that did Google Ads, they started to get into SEO, and they ended up buying links from link farms. Then Google had an algorithm update, and all those websites fell because link farming was against the rules. And not only that, it put a black mark on those websites. Imagine if you're a business owner and Google blackballs. You're gone. You don't show up on Google. Like, that can ruin a business. Is Google going to blackball you for that small thing? No. Google, I know, it's its own beast. But we'll talk more about that inside our local SEO class, which is coming up pretty soon. But we are going to go back to keywords. Let's go check out Google Trends, and because Google Trends is super fun. Keyword research can be a great process, can be a terrible process. You know what? Okay, you just type into Google Trends. Are you guys seeing the right screen? Maybe not.
No.
We see your crazy calendar and it gives me anxiety.
Oh, oh, my crazy calendar is just for me. It's not for anybody else. I love it. I love the colors. It's like a rainbow. Okay, now you are still, are you seeing my whole screen? Let's see. Sure. Bam. Okay, we're in the Google Keyword Planner. We're going to go over to Google Trends and not spell it correctly, but we're still going to find it. I never click on the ad. This is Google Trends. We'll take our keyword once, if we've looked in the search in the Google Keyword Planner, and we're like, oh, I don't know. And so, okay, I'm a gelato business. Is that how I spell it? Yes, no, yes, gelato dessert. Okay, we all know gelatos, they're way busier in the summer than the winter, right?
Yeah.
What's a better search term? More people search ice cream.
Because I don't think
in
even
the
know
last
the difference between ice cream and gelato. That's why in my keyword strategy, I'm targeting ice cream, because at the end of the day, most people don't know the difference.
frozen dessert you could do and just see oh, look at that. And then maybe I want to go back to the Google Keyword Planner and be like,
Frozen dessert.
yeah, or let's see what, hold on. Oh, look at these. I think there are some people that look like they're specific about their searches, right? It's harder when you're doing keyword research. Service pages are harder, home page is the hardest. Privacy policy, what are you going to write? Search term privacy policy. You can utilize every page if you want. Is there a point? Usually with the contact us page, I will try to optimize that page for a keyword, but I'll put in the meta title contact page or contact in the URL, as well as maybe the search term. Like SEO specialist contact. It's the contact page. It might optimize that way, but Google Trends is just, you can mess around with it, get comfortable, do searches. You go between Google Trends will be like, okay, it's the decider for, hey, should I use frozen dessert as a search term instead of gelato? Should I just use frozen dessert? Go check it. And so you go back and forth until you settle on what you think is the right term for the page. Now, yes, you can do this wrong, but you can change it. That's the thing, right? You can optimize a website and then 6 months later go back and then see in Google Search Console what the page is ranking for. And we're going to spend lots more time in Google Search Console. I'm just going to take you there and I'm going to show you.
May I ask another question, or would you rather me
Yeah,
leave?
yeah, no, ask.
Obviously, with gelato, I can't be calling us ice cream because we're not. And people, obviously, who are in gelato are very particular. Even though my website does not mention ice cream at all, is that a problem? Because obviously, like you said, you went to Google Trends, you saw that ice cream is searched more than gelato, and this is because people don't know the difference. They just think ice cream is ice cream. And so obviously, because there's no ice cream in my website, people obviously, if they go type in ice cream in Google, like ice cream Vancouver, we don't show up.
When people are typing in ice cream Vancouver, do you think they want to find ice cream?
Usually, I would assume.
That's
Frozen treat. That's the assumption, is if someone's typing in ice cream, they don't know the difference.
frozen treat. I'm trying to. Here's the thing. If I am, yes, it does matter. Is the easiest way to say that. Because if I have chosen, we worked for a company, one of the first companies I worked with was a school franchise. And they wanted to sell school franchises. But they didn't want us to use the word franchise. If I'm looking for franchise and I'm not using it on my website, if I'm a person looking to buy a franchise, I'm going to search franchise.
Yeah.
I would talk, if you don't sell ice cream, I would maybe blog about ice cream. I would maybe do a comparison between gelato and ice cream. We have to, like, although we optimize our site page by page, we like ice cream or frozen desserts could be the theme of the whole site. And then like frozen desserts ice cream could be a blog post or a page. And incorporating language is just speaking your customer's language. Are your customers savvy enough to know just gelato? Because it sounds like the business owners are very specific about the differences. And will it bring more people to you? Yes, if you use both terms, but if they're used in a strategic way.
If, let's just say, the owner's like, no, we're gelato, we're not ice cream, you can't use that terminology, because I do have a blog post that compares the difference between gelato and ice cream.
Yeah, people love tables too.
Yeah.
Right?
Let's just say they're like, no, we don't want the keywords of ice cream. If I'm running ads, obviously I can still target ice cream Vancouver, ice cream downtown Vancouver, all those other keywords, where to buy ice cream in Vancouver. I can target those keywords in my Google ads. Will it have an issue in showing, even though I'm bidding for these keywords?
That's a good question. Okay. Yes and no. What do we know about Google Ads? If your keyword matches your ad and matches your landing page, you get a higher quality score. A quality score is how relevant is the information. If I'm searching puppies, I don't want ice cream. So basically, it does have an effect. You might want to mention, does it matter? No. If I bid on my competitor's business name, I don't put that in my ad, but I am bidding on it. I don't have it in my website. My quality score might be 1. Do conversions happen with a low quality score? Yes. Website, that's the thing, is you have to ask yourself, are people going to get what they want? There are some people that don't know what ice cream and the difference between ice cream and gelato is, and some people do and are very specific about going to gelato. Yeah. Other people just don't know and don't care, and they'll just walk into a place.
Exactly. That's honestly what I'm dealing with.
You got to see what converts better in Google Ads, and you have to, what makes a good website? And we're going to get into it. We have our on-page SEO class next. Ooh, because that's right after keywords. And if you're speaking to your client, what does your client want to know? Do they want to know the process of making gelato, the process of making ice cream? They might. Like, your job as a website owner is to make your content valuable to the user. How do we figure out if it's valuable to the user? That just leads right into your secret weapon. Google Search Console, your free tool we set up last time we were here. And if you don't have it, talk to me after. But you're going to go to your Google Search Console. And this is one of the first places you should technically start if the site has ever had traffic. If it's a brand new site or a brand new business, this is not the first resource you're going to use. But if it's an existing website and you're redoing a website, if you're writing new blog content, if you're updating the website and you're looking what somebody else's work was, right? First place you go is you go find your business. Actually, go to is a good one. Of course, you can just search it. These guys are super cool. I actually think they have an event going on in Vancouver. Phelan, is that happening?
Yeah, there is going to be an event. It's going to be. Let me find the link to the tickets.
For all you Vancouverites, this is like these guys do cool stuff. Okay, what am I doing? The first thing you just have to know, because I did not know for the longest time and it killed me when I figured it out. All these, when you click on and off of these things, it changes what in the table below. You're in Google Search Console and you're in Performance. Great things you can do here is you can go to existing pages on a website, right? And you can actually click on a page and it makes it a filter. And then you can go back and see all the search terms that Google thinks that web page is ranking for. And will Google get some wrong? For my carpet cleaning dude, he shows up for cleaning company. He's not he is, but that's too broad. Is it helpful? This is where, and look, you can see impressions. Now position 1 to 10, right? Position 10 is the bottom of page 1. Position 18, that's the bottom of page 2. That's the middle of page 1, right? Position is the 10 spots on a page. 60 divided by 10 is page 6, right? 6.6. So that's how I'm going to look for keywords. And what am I seeing? I want to see impressions. When I pick keywords and I use Google Search Console, I'm looking for highest impressions first and page. Highest impression and page position. Because it's easier if I rank on page 2 to get to the top of page 1 than it is if I'm on page 60. And thing about click-through rates is the higher position you are, right? You'll have click-through rates. And remember, click-through rate is impressions divided by clicks. A higher click-through rate technically means a higher position, because if you get in the top 3 spots, all of a sudden your click-through rate goes to 35%, 28%. I'm going to get depressed when I see this because I haven't updated this blog post, but I ranked in the first 3 positions. That doesn't look good, does it? Oh, why is that? Because we still have our filter on. GA4, right? 3.5, your click-through rate goes up. GA4 checklist, 23. 4th position, oh, that's nice. A small number of searches in the last 3 months, but still, if I am in the top spots, I definitely get more clicks, right? 34 impressions and 8 clicks. That's awesome, because out of 34 searches, I got 8 of those clicks because of my position on Google. This is where we look first. And you try to decipher it. The first things you do is you look at impressions and you look at position. And then you'll look at click-through rate, because click-through rate can always improve. A good click-through rate, is 2%. Depends on where you are in the search engine results page. But a 0 click-through rate, nothing's happening for you. It's just all opportunity. On my about page, right? What is it saying I'm ranking for? And remember, these are averages at the top here, right? And this is all the stuff that's happening. 10 clicks. And don't get me wrong, it's not like Google tells you really. If I got 10 clicks and I'm like, okay, let's see the date. On this date, I want to see what the click was. Wow. It's okay. It's telling me something. Sometimes you'll get more information than you want, but it won't tell me. It's saying 1 click here, but if I go here, I'm getting nothing. It doesn't let you go that in depth, but it does let you go in depth to the page. You can change your filters. We're going to get more into Google Search Console and how to use it in our Search Console class, but this is where we start our SEO. For example, when I did my search idea, I went into Search Console. I was like, okay, like I want to write about search and SERPs. I'd go into Search Console. I'm like, okay, what's going on? Am I ranking for anything? And I actually, I went into my site a couple months ago, and I was like, okay, anything that's past 2018 or before 2018, I need to pause. And I thought I did a whole bunch of redirects. I actually found a page yesterday that I was ranking in the, I was ranking in the, it was like high search volume, and I was like, oh wow, that's cool. It's like that's not really a long tail keyword. Lots of searches. I could improve my click-through rate. I'm in a position where if I just move a little further up, I can get more action. And then I looked here and I'm like, uh-oh, what happened? And then I went to the page, and then I figured out what happened, and I fixed it. Huge opportunity in Google Search Console, but this is where we start to look at keywords for pages for existing websites.
What actually happened? Sorry to interrupt.
Oh, I turned a couple of my blog posts into drafts. You know, I do recommend you don't do that. I do recommend that to clients, but I did it myself. And putting something in draft before checking it, always check what your page is ranking for before you're like, oh, I'm gonna delete that page. Don't go deleting pages without checking first, right? You need to check where you're ranking. What if you are ranking in a high position? What if all you needed to do was update the content to make it better? For our job, the reason we pick keywords per page is not to keep us restrained. Basically, after I've taught you all of this stuff, what you need to do is pick a keyword and then forget that you picked that keyword and then just write. And then it will come through in the language. And then you can go through and you can do the on-page SEO stuff that we know to do that sometimes makes blog posts less human-friendly and more machine-friendly. And that's the give and take of it, right? Other people, a lot of SEOs will use paid tools like Ahrefs, SEMrush. We pay for SEMrush. We don't use it as much as we could or should maybe. We use it to compare what's going on. Our first place we go to find keywords is Google Search Console. And then from there, we'll take it over to the Keyword Planner. And from there, we'll take it over to the SERPs if we're not getting any information in the Keyword Planner. And from there, we'll take it to Google Trends. And that's kind of how we do our main keyword research. And keyword research should be fun. You're going to get that template, and then we actually do meta mapping on a template once we picked our keywords, and we'll show you that in the on-page class. It's fun. It's a lot of work, but fun in the end. Did anybody have any questions? Oh, we got 6 minutes. I can't start.
I have. If you, let's say, see if it's, you have so many impressions and there's like very little clicks, is that then how do you improve that? Because I know that Google decides what to show, right? They decide which they pick in your website to show. How then can you improve that? You could direct Google to show what you want or something.
Oh, you update your content. That's the number one way. And you do other things. When you're an SEO and you get into bed, so to speak, with a client, say, sounds so bad. When you start working with a client, the couple questions you need to know the answers to, which is, what are you measuring? Are you measuring overall traffic to your site, or are you measuring specific keywords? Because what happens when you pick one keyword is you can rank for many. My keyword for Google Analytics 4 setup was GA4 setup, but then I showed up for GA4 setup guide, and then I showed up for Google Analytics 4 guide. And even if you pick one term, you're going to show up for many more. The idea is then go back to the content and optimize it. optimize it. You look at things like how many times is the keyword mentioned? Is it in a title? Is it in the first 100 words? All the things we're going to get into next class. Does it have the type of content that people are looking for? When I take that word and go search in the search engine results pages, what content is coming up? Like, why are people beating me? And you can go through this systematic process of, hey, and we'll go when we do the spying on your competition. You can actually look how many times a web page showed up for this term in their text, like just with a command find. And if they mentioned the keyword 10 times and they have 1,000 words, maybe you need 2,000 words and you mention the keyword 11 times or 20 times. You try to follow the SEO rules. And yeah, and you're hoping that the SEO person you hire is up on all the latest things or trying new things or doing tests. And because every SEO that you're going to hire is going to maybe do something slightly different. Your question was, how do you make yourself show up? You become the content that people want to go to by answering the questions. FAQs usually help. Optimizing the page helps. Optimizing the meta description and titles. Having a keyword focus. Looking at Google Search Console, seeing if that is the focus, seeing if there's any keywords that can easily put in there that Google thinks your website should already show up for. Mm-hmm. That's what I would do. And then I would make sure I knew, hey client, what are we measuring? Because as an SEO, I'm measuring overall traffic. I will try to target keywords, but we are tracking specific keywords as well. That's the thing is that you have to determine with the owner. Great question.
Thank you.
Yeah, I would just off of that as well to say that I agree with Karen's point that she had made about using ice cream as a differentiator, saying like it's an Italian dessert, not that is like ice cream, but it's so much more, something like that, where it's like it does include it, but you're saying it as
so reference it what you're saying, but twist it in a way so we're still talking about gelato, but you're mentioning.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you can use it descriptively as to give it a comparison, and so you're actually saying, no, we're not like ice cream, we're better, and we're so much more, or something like that. You're actually still using that and having that language in there, but that's you extending it further, or even using it as a comparison against it.
Got it. Like, we don't have services. Obviously, we have like catering services. Maybe for the catering services page, because it is very text heavy, I could be making the comparison in the various, because I have wedding catering, I have corporate catering, birthday party catering. I could add in the ice creams in those pages. On the home page, it might be a little difficult because it's definitely more image heavy than text.
Okay.
But at least, and then like you said, I do have a blog, so I could always go update that blog. Those would be the really only text heavy pages that I have.
Yeah, and one other thing that came to mind, that I would definitely include that part. The other thing, circling back to what we said at the start, is I would change your H1 on your home page to include what you put in your Google My Business. Because if Google scans it, because that wouldn't be off, or your business, you would just
We're going to get into on-page SEO next week, which will dive quite deep into all the tricks and tactics and just best practices for on-page SEO. Nobody's going to want to miss that. That's really fun because that combines your keyword knowledge. Now you have SERP knowledge. You've done your setup. So you have Google Search Console. And now we've gone through keywords. Next, we're going to go through on-page SEO, which will tie that all together. And fun. Who had fun?
I'm more stressed, I think, now than ever.
Oh, no. So remember, you're learning two professions, and in that, things take time. And I promise you that by the end of this, you will feel like more of an expert than you've ever felt. And you'll feel like you have the ability to do this. We're going to do keyword research together. We're going to, you're going to have, if you want, take the time to write a blog post and then we can optimize it. Take the time to go find some blog topics you want to talk about or bring a website you'll want to do some keyword research for. We will do that together. And then it becomes fun versus scary. We learned this on our own and it's been a lot and I don't regret a second of it. And I'm glad I know what I know now because I understand it. I understand where people are trying to take advantage of me or when something's not really right or, oh, look what that person's doing. And it's a good thing to be able to tell business owners and help educate them because it's not their specialty. And I think you'll love it in the end.
Is it possible for me to share my screen just so I can show you the Google campaigns that we've been working on, just because I do have a question?
Sure. And if you have to go, I totally understand. We have hit the time. But yeah, share your screen and we'll look at that quickly. And then Jet.
Cool.
Okay,
So
we're
like you
Google Ads. Yes.
Like you said, these are obviously too short. Automotive repair. It's just so generic. So would you suggest?
Oh, go on. Sorry.
So would you suggest maybe like changing these up and making them all more long term, like long tail?
Okay. Now I want y'all to remember the difference. SEO and Google Ads are totally different
Oh, okay.
beasts. You can use short tail. You're gonna see, but like SEO, longer tail might cost you less.
Yeah.
And you have the quotation marks around the words, which means that people can type in words before and after. So technically, you're targeting long tail because what you're saying to Google is, "Hey, auto care near me." I could be like,
Best auto care near me.
yeah, and that's when you would negative out like Bob's with quotation marks around it because you don't want Bob's auto care near me.
Yeah. Okay. I'm just wondering if these are just too generic then.
No, I think automotive repair is good. If I typed in automotive repair as a user, think about what you would type in or ask a friend.
Yeah.
Fill in. We had to get our tires realigned. What did you type into Google?
I went for auto repair near me. That's what and then I found the person with the most reviews and skimmed over the reviews and
Yeah, he's a marketer, so maybe don't trust him.
yeah.
Right.
I'm a little.
I'm trying to think of like a non-marketing aspect because, like you said, every ad group can only have 30 keywords. What I was thinking is because here we've got obviously like vehicle repair. When I think repair, I think a mechanic. But then we've got car detailing Richmond. I was thinking maybe duplicate this campaign and then making one for detailing and then one for mechanic because
or you could have one campaign and have different ad groups, one for mechanic, one for
that's what I meant, like duplicate ad group and then start separating them. One would be mechanic, one would be detailing, and then
for sure, because as you'll see, the car detailing Richmond, the landing page is actually the detailing page.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Now, this gives us a huge opportunity to quickly look. If you look two below, we are inside Google Ads. Two below the search terms, the search keywords, we see search terms. If you click on this, another great place to find insight into picking keywords if you're running campaigns. Amanda, can you click on these search terms in the, right there. Thank you. And this can give you extra keywords ideas. Now, from now on, you got to keep your eyes out. These are things that people have actually typed into Google. And Richmond car cleaning, auto. People search the craziest. We had a conversion for somebody who typed into Google tree stuff for a tree feller. That was pretty interesting. But yeah, if that answered your question.
A little bit, yeah. What I'll do is I'll separate my ad groups. I'll start separating like mechanic from mechanic and detailing from detailing. My one question is, how come out of all of them, this is the one that had the final destination URL?
Because
Should
I
the
did
other
it.
one? Okay. Should I be adding that then?
No, you can do it at the ad group level.
Okay. And what would be the benefit of?
That's a great question. The benefit, if I end up, if my keyword matches my ad, which matches my landing page, I get a higher quality score. If I get a higher quality score, I pay a lower cost per click.
Got
There's
it.
a lot of information in that.
If I'm in the ad group level now, you want me to click into this campaign here? At it?
Pardon me?
You're saying like I want to add the
Oh,
URL.
yeah. Okay. If you want to, no, go to the, you would change it in the ads actually, which would do the ad group level. You'd go to the ads and extensions, and then you would change it in the ads.
Sorry, ads and extensions. Okay, so
You're right
this.
here, and then go edit with the little pencil icon.
Oh, okay. You would actually edit the actual ad itself.
You have to edit the landing page. The destination wasn't working. That's why I changed it. That was not that's the final destination. So that's going to your homepage. See the final URL?
Yes.
Yeah. That's
Homepage.
going to the homepage, that search ad.
Okay.
You usually want your landing page to have the keyword in it, SEO and Google Ads. If I'm searching kittens and I click on something that says best kittens near me and I get a whole bunch of puppies, I'm going to be dissatisfied. I'm going to hit that back button, which is a signal to Google that I did not do the right thing on my webpage.
But I'm a little confused only because this is a mechanic ad, but yet the clicks are coming from detailing and a different URL altogether. It's going to the detailing page.
No, the whole ad isn't. The whole ad is going to the homepage.
Okay.
That keyword
Okay.
is going to the. I understand why you're confused. If you go down to the keyword level, I have an ad group with ads and keywords, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
If I change the URL of the keyword, it'll change it. That's where the person ends up. You notice there's only one keyword changed, right? So that makes it go to the detailing page. There's only one keyword URL changed. That keyword, when somebody types that into Google, they go to the detailing page.
Okay.
When they type in anything else, it's just
it takes them to the home, to the whatever we've determined.
whatever we chose at our ad level.
Okay.
So we went deeper and there's many options. I just wanted to change that one keyword's destination.
Okay, got it.
Cool.
All right.
We will see you all on Tuesday to practice some keyword research. Bring your ideas, bring an existing website, a blog post, we're going to have fun with this. And we'll see you next week. Bye.